As you can tell from the title of this video, I need to get caught up on quite a few arcs that I haven't read and I am behind on. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a 24-hour reading challenge where I can try to get caught up on as many arcs as I possibly can. It is a gloomy weekend here, so I'm going to do 12 hours today, which is Saturday, and then 12 hours tomorrow. See how many I can get through. But before we get into the video, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Check my links in the description box below for all of my socials, my Patreon, my Bookish Box Ambassador website, which you can use the code that I'm going to put below here for 10% off your entire order, whether that's on my page or on the entire site. Just make sure you use the code that I have put on the screen. And also, I am going to link all of these books below. I think all the arcs that I'm going to be reading in this video have already been released. So if you want to go pick up a copy, I will have the Amazon affiliated links down below. You'll be helping me and the author out as well. So let's get into the video. The arcs that I am going to try to read, I need to finish Blood Feast by Vela Roth, which is book 8 in the Blood Grace series. It is the final book in this storyline, but there will be more books that come out later on that focus on different characters that we have met throughout this series. I am currently, I think, 50 or 51% of the way through, but it is like a 720 page book. So I'm like 358, 360 pages in, and it is a chunker, but I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm hoping to finish that one up first. Then I am hoping to read My Heart Still Beats, I think, by Helen Hart. I do need to get that one read. It released on May 28th. And then I also need to read Bespelled by LauraThalassa, which also came out on May 28th. Those three are my priority. If I can get through all of those, I am going to try to read Princess of Air by Natalie Camerata, which does release on the 11th of June, which should be the same day that this video comes out. I don't know if I'm going to get to that or not, but we'll see. So let's start with Blood Feast. I currently have it on my Kindle. Like I said, this is book 8 in that Blood Grace series. Book 1 will be Blood Mercy. If you are unfamiliar with this series, it is a political epic fantasy with some spicy romance. It deals with Cassia, who is the bastard daughter of the king of Tenebra, and she wants to meet a Hesperine. Hesperines are vampiric creatures in this world. They are not your typical vampires. They believe in love and honor and, mercy. They want to make sure that the world is peaceful. They are peaceful vampires. They cannot kill whenever they drink from people. They also don't believe in killing at all unless they absolutely have to. Cassia and the whole village or territory of Tenebra, they have been, I guess, thought to believe that these Hesperines are terrible creatures and they are out for blood. They're out for terrible reasons. And so she wants to meet them. She meets Leo, and it's their story. From book 1 to now in book 8, the story has went into a totally different way. The world has been expanded. There are so many cast of characters that you meet. I love this story so much. So like I said, I am 50%. Yes, I am on page 365 and I am 50% of the way through it. So I'm hoping to get through this today and we're just going to see how we go. So I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to go ahead and get my timer going. I'm going to go ahead and start it and then stop it because I need to charge my camera battery. It is going to die. So before I start this, I am going to get the timer going. Now it is 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to go to 9 o'clock tonight. And let's see. So start. All right, and I'm going to stop it. So pause. I'm gonna charge my battery for a little bit. I will then, you know, come back and show you where we are on the timer and maybe update you on how far we're in. But let's just see how this goes. Wish me luck. Hey you guys, so let me give you a little bit of an update because I haven't updated you since this morning, and I am currently at BioLife right now. My husband donates plasma twice a week, so he's going to be in there for an hour or so, and I had to let my battery charge. So here we are. I hope my air conditioning is not coming through on the mic. If it is, I apologize. However, let's take a look. I am currently have 8 hours and 40 minutes left. I don't know how well that came through, but it's 12:24 and I am going to dive back in to Blood Feast. I'm hoping I can finish this up while he's in there. I think I hit the 60 or 65% mark. You guys, I cannot tell you enough about definitely try this series out. The only thing that I have to say though is it is very slow moving. So if you don't like a slow moving plot and a whole lot of like over descriptive writing, you're probably not gonna like this series, but I absolutely love it. I am so happy. I was given the ARC, but it came out on the 3rd of June. I got it like, I want to say the 29th or 30th of May, and I have not been able to read it very much, so we are going to finish it today and hopefully move on to My Heart Still Beats. I'm hoping, crossing fingers, I can get caught up on my arcs, but we'll see how it goes, because my brother called me on the way over here and told me that he wants me to babysit his dog tonight, so we have to go down. He lives about 20-30 minutes south of where I live. Gotta go pick her up and then go back to the apartment, so that's gonna take some time off of my timer, but it is what it is, right? So anyway, I'm gonna dive into this, you guys, and we're just gonna see how far I can get into it. Alright, my husband is going to be coming out any minute, but I am almost at the very end of this book. I just want to give you some of my thoughts. I am so sorry for you wobbling. We are at a pivotal moment. The war that we have been waiting for is happening. Hesperines against necromancers and gift collectors. So much is happening. Our girl Cassia, who just became a Hesperine in this book, she is just fierce and trying to protect the love of her life, Leo. And of course you have Mac and Lyros, you have the Blood Errant with Rudhira and Nike and so many people. This is like the ultimate battle. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I cannot wait to see what happens. So I am going to get my husband. We are going to go get Taylor, my brother's dog, and then head back to the apartment, and then I'm going to dive right back into this. Okay, you guys, I don't know how the lighting is right now. I mean, it is 7:45 at night, so I know that the light's going to be going down, but I have an hour and 21 minutes left until the first 12 hours is done. We've done some running around. I've read some more. I think like at 90%, so we're like towards the end. I think I'm going to finish this up and then maybe start in on My Heart Still Bleeds. and we will just see how that goes. But these first 12 hours have actually been pretty good. I had way more pages than I thought I did whenever I started out today. So let's just dive right in and start reading, shall we? Had to take a break, take care of my brother's dog. This is Taylor. Yeah. She just came in from outside. Okay, back to reading. Okay, you guys, I finished Blood Feast and I'm shook. I cannot believe that we have gotten to the end of an 8-book series, and I know that Vela Roth said that there are going to be more books that are going to contain different characters that are in this world, and I can't wait to see where she goes with this. I know that I can't really talk much about what Blood Feast is about, but it was beautiful and amazing and everything that I would want to wrap up the first of the main story, I guess. Leo and Cassia's story, possibly. I don't know if there are going to be more books that are going to contain Leo and Cassia as the focal point. I assume that they'll be in other books than being the main cast of characters like they have been for all 8 books in this. I don't know if she's gonna do that. I don't know if I'd want her to, because I really want her to expand on Mac and Lyros. I absolutely love their relationship and their bond. They both are stewards in the Stand, which is basically like Orthros's Hesperine type of military, and they're very good. Mac, he is one of the Stand's best warriors, and he is the son of the guardian of Orthros, who is supposed to be one of the best warriors ever. And then you have Lyros, where he is the son of Artis in Orthros, and he ended up wanting to be a warrior, and they have these things called graces where they're like mates. And anyway, he didn't know that him and Mac are graces until they got older, but he wanted to follow Mac around. He didn't want to be an artist. So I want to expand on their love and their story, and I want to follow Nike, who is Mac's older sister. I want to learn more about Rudhira. He is the first blood prince, or anyway, Rudhira is Rudhira. If you read the stories, you would know that Rudhira is just an amazing prince. He is so wonderful. I absolutely love him every time he comes onto page. I just love everything about this story, and I know that it's not for everyone. It is slow going. It is very dense, and there's so many politics, and you definitely can see why these books are like 600-700 pages, because there's so much description that goes into it. If you persevere, if you end up loving it and you love the world and stuff, I know that the slow points make you not want to keep reading, but every slow... So I think my camera just stopped recording. I'm not really sure why. Let me back up. So I don't know who the last person I talked about, but let's talk about Rudhira again. Rudhira is just everything. I love every time he comes onto page. I love his character and how he's been waiting 1,600 years to meet his Grace. And I want more of his story. I want to learn more about Apollon. I want to learn more about everything. Like I was saying, now I remember where I was at. This story is very slow, and every single slow moment in these books may feel like a drag, may want to make you not read it because there's not a lot of action going on. But I'm telling you, you get to book 8, and every slow part, every minute detail that Vela Roth has put in to the previous 7 books all come to a head. It all makes sense. It all comes back around. It's like, oh, I remember this conversation that we had in book 4. I remember whenever Leo and Cassia were still just friends in book 1, and they were talking about this, like, things that were so long ago in the series really make an impact in the final book. So again, I'm giving it 5 stars. I absolutely love everything about this series, and I am going to keep reading well past my 12-hour challenge. I have 19 minutes. I think you can see that. It's like 19 minutes left. My husband's currently gaming, so I kind of need to shut up for him. But I am going to check in with you guys in the morning. But before I do, my next book that I am going to be reading is called My Heart Still Beats, I believe, by Helen Hart. And really quickly, I'm just going to tell you what that book is about, so then in the morning we can just kind of go over what I've currently read and where I'm at. So if I go to my Goodreads, let me pull up a synopsis for you. Okay, so Goodreads says that My Heart Still Beats for Helen Hart. It has a 4.04 star rating right now, but there's only been like 217 ratings. So I don't know if a lot of people have been reading it since it came out, but it says, some days I can almost see the person I used to be, see the version of myself that felt joy, even passion, but she's gone, just out of reach. Life moves on for everyone else, though, and as my best friend's maid of honor, I have a bachelorette party to plan in Jamaica, no less. And that means working side by side with the best man, Benjamin Black. Billionaire, workaholic, ultimate bachelor. The perfect catch for any woman unless she's lost her sense of self. Apparently my body hasn't gotten the memo, because from the second we meet, something begins stirring, warming my blood. And when our hands touch, it's a heady reminder that even if I feel numb, my heart still beats. He's nothing like I thought. Every moment with him unshackles a life more of my fears, cracks another layer of ice. But I should be afraid, and so should he, because the past never lets go easily. So this book with Benjamin Black, you've heard me talk about the series Follow Me Darkly by Helen Hart, and that deals with Braden Black. This is his brother, and whenever Entangled sent me over the e-arc of it, I read the synopsis and I immediately reached out to my contact there at Entangled and I said, is this Braden Black's brother? And they said, absolutely. So I'm 100% in. I love the Follow Me Darkly series, so I can't wait to see how this one goes. So like I said, guys, I have like 13 minutes left on my 12-hour challenge. I am going to go ahead and continue reading well past that time tonight. But I'm going to catch up with you in the morning, give you my thoughts and feelings on how I feel about the new Helen Hart book, and see how far we get. Hey everyone, so it is Sunday. What did I not do? I did not update you this morning when I was going to be starting reading. My apologies. I'm not doing so good on this vlog, I don't think, but you know, here we are. I started about 7:15, I think, this morning, I want to say. And yeah, 7:13 is whenever I started. I have 5 hours and 15 minutes left. I just finished up My Heart Still Beats by Helen Hart. And, you know, went to bed last night after the 12 hours. I started reading the book after the 12 hours ended. Fell asleep while reading it. Not that the book was terrible or anything. I was just so tired. And then woke up this morning, walked my brother's dog, had a good morning, and just dove right back into the book, not even thinking to update you guys. And then after I got done with the book, well, not after I got done with the book, before I finished it, I was like, I need to update y'all on my thoughts of this book. And I just got to cleaning, doing laundry, just a whole lot of things going on today. And I sat down again and I was like, okay, let's update everybody. And then my battery was dead, so I had to update, charge that. And then I finished the book. So you guys have no idea what my thoughts are, so my apologies. So last night I told you about the synopsis of the book and how this is Braden Black's brother from the Follow Me Darkly series. Now, Benjamin Black is not like his brother, okay? He doesn't resemble him at all, like personality-wise. But whenever they're in Jamaica, okay, and they have this whole wedding thing going on, you can feel the attraction with them. You can feel the angst where they do want each other, but they're not wanting to want each other, if that makes sense. And it's kind of like this will they, won't they pull throughout the whole thing. Not that it was terrible. I felt like I needed more out of the story. I felt like I needed more elaboration on really what was going on, why we were doing this, and it has nothing to do, the series that Helen Hart had with the Follow Me Darkly series, but it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. I'm trying to be as vague as I can because I think there are going to be a lot of people that really will enjoy this book, and I don't want to spoil that for you. It didn't grip me like the Follow Me Darkly series did from the very first book. Now, not saying that I'm not going to be reading more of, this story, but I'm not a full Helen Hart fan. I loved her Follow Me Darkly series. I do not like her other 30 plus book series that she has going on. I think those books are good. I think the first book is Craving, and they're good. It's like the Steele Brothers, I think, or something like that. They're good, but I felt like after the third or fourth one, I was like, okay, I don't feel like personally I want to keep going on in this series. Now, what she did with the Follow Me Darkly series, Follow Me Darkly, Follow Me Under, and Follow Me Always, follows Braden Black and Sky, I believe is her name, and it is a story with them, and it is very similar to a 50 Shades of Grey series, but it has a lot better plot, a lot better romance, a lot better of everything. So if you do like 50 Shades of Grey, I think you would like the Follow Me Darkly series much, much more. Or if you like books that are very dom and sub BDSM type of romances, you would really, really like that series. But what she did with it is then she made Darkly, which is the first book from Braden's point of view. Then she came out with Under, which is the second book by Braden's point of view. I don't know if she's came out with Always yet or not. I own all the books. I don't own Always, so I need to check if she has came out with Always. Let me check that really quick. Okay, so she has not came out with Always, which would be the third and final book in that trilogy from Braden's point of view. But I'm the type of reader where if I read a series, whether it be one book, 2 books, 3 books, whatever, I don't want to go back and read the series again just from a different point of view. That's just my reading style. So some people love that, like how Stephanie Meyer did Midnight Sun, which is like all the books and everything, just the big main plot points from Edward's point of view. I read it, I enjoyed it a little bit, but it wasn't overly amazing. It didn't bring more to the story that I didn't already know. So that's just me as a reader. Now, since I went off on this tangent, I like different series that she writes. I don't love everything that she writes, which is great, because it doesn't matter who you are as a reader. Even your most favorite beloved author is not gonna write everything that you love, honestly. So whenever she wrote, my heart still beats. I was excited. I couldn't wait to read it because I really like her writing style. I love how she writes romance. I love a lot of things that she does, but just, I felt like there needed to be more. I felt like it was a push and pull at the very beginning, but as soon as it, like, you know, they decided, yes, we want each other, like, it was just full steam ahead. There was still no resistance. I felt like the story that was going on around them was super choppy. I don't feel like it flowed well. I feel like we were doing this one thing, right? And then, you know, they're doing their thing, and then all of a sudden it's like a whole different thing that it didn't piece together very well. And I don't know if it was meant to be that way. I don't know if she's going to do something similar with this series that she did with the Follow Me Darkly series, where she's going to write 2 or 3 books in the series and then go back and write from Benjamin's point of view, and then you get those gaps filled in. So 3 stars. Kind of enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't anything overly amazing, and that's fine. I will continue on because I really enjoy, I guess, this type of setup and this type of storyline that she comes through. So pretty excited for that. Now, I am about to start Be Spelled by LauraThalassa. And I do not know how big the book is. I don't know how many pages are in the second book. So that's going to be dependent on if I'm going to be able to finish this in the 5 hours or not. How many pages are in here? Does it tell me? Oh, it's on Kindle Unlimited as well, everybody. So if you want to read this series, if you've read Bewitched, which is the first book, I think it's on Kindle Unlimited as well. If you haven't, definitely go check out Bewitched. It's amazing. Okay, it is 506 pages. So the chances of me actually finishing Be Spelled before 7:15 tonight is going to be iffy because, like I said, I'm still doing laundry. I do need to cook dinner tonight. So we're just going to see how much I can get read, depending on how quick of a read it is, because Bewitched was a very quick read for me. I think it was like 400 and something pages, and I got through it rather quickly, so we're just gonna see. But if you are unfamiliar with what this series is about, let me tell you. I can't tell you what the second book is about because, of course, spoilers, but the first book, Bewitched, is about a witch who tries so hard to get into this like school type coven thing where she can learn her magic more, be around fellow witches and stuff, and she always gets denied. She never has been able to get into this until one day the headmaster comes to her and says, okay, you have to go on a quest and you have to find a familiar. She said, easy enough, right? However, our girl Celine, she loses her memory. Every day she wakes up and she doesn't remember anything in her past. She knows who she is and she knows that she's a witch and stuff, but she has to leave notes for herself. She has journals lining a bookcase that tell her every single day what she has done. She keeps multiple calendars so she knows who she's meeting up with, why she's meeting up with them, what assignments need to be done, the whole sort. So she ends up going online, booking a trip to South America, I believe. She doesn't remember this, but on the way our girl goes. She's on her quest. While she's on the way, they're over, I think it's like the Amazon rainforest or some similar situation. The plane starts having problems and is going down. She ends up helping guide the plane to not crash, but she keeps hearing this voice and she stumbles into like a cave type thing, wakes up an ancient god, and now he is like tracking her and she's like, I don't know what to do. Now she has a familiar that's a panther. So our girl has some issues, all right? She doesn't know who this guy is. His name is Memnon. Why is he so obsessed with her? Why is he following her around? Now she has this familiar that's like a ferocious panther and everyone's terrified. She doesn't remember anything that she's doing, and we're with her, right? Like, we're on our way. I loved book one. Absolutely loved it. Loved the premise, loved the storyline, definitely loved Celine. I loved everything that we found out about Celine while she's finding out about it for herself. And the ending, that twist, I'm going to tell you right now, I did not see that twist coming at all. So I was just super ready for the second book. Now that I have it, I can't wait to get back into it because I have a feeling it's going to pick up right where we left off with book one. And I am ready to know more answers. Like, I feel like LauraThalassa gave us some answers and then took them away. Because she's like, oh, here you go. Here's a little bit that I'm going to give you, and then ends the book. So I'm ready to see where we're going. What is Memnon up to? What is Celine going to do now with the information that she knows? Just how is everything going to be for our girl? Because she's not in a good place at the moment, and I'm really excited. So let's go dive in. I don't know if I'm going to get any B-roll or not. I'm going to try. Sundays are kind of hard because my husband does a lot of relaxing. He does a lot of gaming. Sundays are usually my days to read. I do laundry. I've already got the cleaning done today. I will have to, cook dinner tonight, which we're having tacos, and I cannot wait for that. But I'm just going to kind of chill, right? Like, I'm just going to read and see how it goes. I'm not going to stress out about it like I typically do. And we will just go from there. So again, you guys, I'm so sorry that I am the absolute worst at vlogging, but we're going to get better. I have no idea where my Kindle went. Okay, I am wrapping up this 24-hour reading vlog. I know I didn't update near as much as I should have. I just get so sidetracked. I have ADD. That's kind of like a self-diagnosis at this point because, of course, I don't take any medicine for it or anything, but like, I will read and then I will be like, oh, I need to go start the laundry. And then I'll go back to reading and then I'll be like, oh, I need to go make the bed. Just different things like that. And so I just kept forgetting to update, and I apologize for that. So I know all these updates are just out of the blue, kind of random. And I also want to say that I am sorry if you hear my cat meowing because we were watching my brother's dog and she does not like my brother's dog, and so she was like hiding most of the time. My brother came and got his dog like 2.5 hours ago, and she is still freaking out. So I have her here in the room with me, so if you see her, her name is Callie, and she is a sweet little girl. Let me see if I can get her. Nope. If she comes around here again, I'll show you her. Anyway, I did not finish Be Spelled by LauraThalassa. I tried because very quick read. I was flying through it very fast. I don't know what it is about LauraThalassa's writing, but I absolutely devour it. I can just start flipping the pages as quick as possible. It's just a very quick, like, you just get into the story and you are so immersed. At least I am, and I love everything about it. So of course I can't really tell you what book 2 is about, but it does start off right where we left off from the cliffhanger in book 1. We do start getting some more answers. Things start piecing together. I feel like it's better than book 1. I think a lot of people tend to agree that the majority of the time book 2 is a lot better than the first book. But in this case, I feel like it was better because we already knew who Celine was, and we already knew who Memnon was, and we already knew like how they're kind of entwined with each other and how their storylines are actually one. So we already have that set up. And then now this book is just kind of expanding upon that. We find out so much more, not just about how they're entwined with each other, but like the world kind of just expands even more. Things get deeper. We're trying to solve certain things, and I got 62% of the way through, so I probably will continue reading it tonight. Probably will finish it up tonight. So if you want to hear my final thoughts, definitely come back to my June wrap up. And I'm so sorry that I am ending the vlog here without giving you my thoughts. I really have been enjoying it. I am happy that LauraThalassa is writing kind of in the same world as The Bargainer, but not with the same cast of characters. I really enjoy that. I will definitely be giving you my thoughts in the wrap up. So let's just kind of talk about the books that I did read in this 2-part 24-hour reading vlog. I want to do 12 and 12 because I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling right now to not yawn. It's only like 7:30 at night and I want to go to bed right now. And I don't know why. I'm just exhausted. I feel like I've read so much. The first book that I finished up in the 24-hour readathon was yesterday, and I finished up book 8, which is Blood Feast, and that is in the Blood Grace series. Absolutely loved it. 5 stars. Vela Roth really, like, from book 1, expanded on this world. She dove deep into history and the politics and stayed true to who the characters are. I have some favorites. Of course, I love Leo and Cassia. I love Mac and Lyros. Love Rudhira. And I love Apollon. Oh my goodness. I don't want to tell you who these characters are, but I just love them so, so much. I mean, I love everybody that's in the circle of Leo and Cassia, shall we say, like their friend circle and people that they know. I just love them all so much. I found myself crying quite a bit at some good scenes, some wholesome scenes. Leo, oh my goodness, that man, he knows what to say to tug on my heartstrings. I'm not gonna lie. So again, I will probably talk about it again in my wrap up, but if you are a epic fantasy girly who loves some romance and some spice in there, like, have you ever sat down and read like a Brandon Sanderson book, like, and been, I want, you know, more romance in here. I want some spice. I love the fantasy aspect of it, but I want some spice. Vela Roth has you, okay? She has you because her worlds are just so expansive and in-depth and descriptive, and it's like you feel like you could live there. And her characters are so well thought out. She really, like, dives into their personalities, and that's why I say it's a very slow moving series, because you could have like 5 chapters where they're just sitting around drinking a cup of coffee talking about the weather, and you are just like immersed in it. You just want to know every feeling that these characters have. At least that's how I feel. So if you do want a very, very, very slow, dense, epic fantasy, go try it because the spice is absolutely amazing. I don't feel like she overdid it. I don't feel like she underdid it. I felt like it was just like that perfect type of spice. It gets spicy, you guys, spicy. But again, 5 stars for Blood Feast, and I absolutely love this world, and I cannot wait to see what other characters and storylines we are going to be getting from this world. And Vela Roth is a genius. Oh. Here is Callie. Yeah, she's just very stressed out. I don't know why. My brother's dog's been gone for a couple hours, but she is just very stressed out, and I don't know why. Look at that poor face. You're going to be in my vlog, Callie. Are you happy for that? The second book that I read was My Heart Still Beats by Helen Hart, and this is where my vlog went off the rails. Okay, oh my goodness, I didn't update you guys when I woke up this morning, and I mean, it had been hours before I came to talk to you. Anyway, I kind of already gave my thoughts and feelings on it before, but I feel like I wanted more out of the story. I wanted more out of the romance. I wanted more out of a lot of things, but I can't. It's so hard for me to just pinpoint like, this is what I needed, or this is what I wanted you to expand on, or, you know, I wanted you to go this way with the characters, or why did you choose this? Like, it's hard for me to pinpoint that down. It's just a feeling. Like I said, whenever I updated you earlier today, I feel like we were in one part of a storyline, and then all of a sudden we're in another one, and there's really no like gap or reason why we shifted that quickly. I don't know. I'm gonna give it 3 stars only because I like Helen Hart, so I did enjoy the story, especially being Braden Black's brother. I did enjoy the story. However, definitely not my favorite by her, and I will continue, but it was just kind of a 3-star. It was okay, but it didn't wow me, and I wanted it to wow me because you gave me a book, and that is the brother of Braden Black, and I was like, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love it, and sadly I didn't. And then finally, I only made it 62% of the way through Bespelled by LauraThalassa. I just got done talking about it, so I'm not really gonna go kind of in depth with it again. But if you want to hear my final thoughts and my rating on it, please head on over to my June wrap-up later this month, and it will give you some more insights in it. But I will say, if you were waiting for me to tell you, should I read it, should I not read it, here are my thoughts on that. If you have read Bewitched, you're gonna love Bespelled because, like I said, it just expands upon everything you've learned, expands upon the characters and the world. If you have not read Bewitched by LauraThalassa, or if maybe you read the Bargainer series but didn't like the Four Horsemen, or maybe you read the Four Horsemen but didn't like the Bargainer series, maybe you've tried all of LauraThalassa's work and you didn't like it. Still give Bewitched a try, at least book 1. It's not very long. It is a very quick read. It's different than what she has ever written. It's unique. And I feel like this book, if any of hers, is going to be the one that would get readers back to loving LauraThalassa, or at least bring in new readers. I love it. You have a witch. You have a mystery. You have a god that's awoken. You have just a whole lot of shenanigans going on. And I loved it. And Bespelled is absolutely amazing. So if you've been waiting to continue on with the series, wait no longer. Please go read it, because I can already tell you that typically in a fantasy or a fantasy romance book, once you hit that 70 to 80% mark, it just flies off the handles. It just gets better and better and better. So I feel like this is going to be about a 4-star for me. It's definitely not perfect. Not like Blood Feast, but I feel like it's going to be a 4-star. I don't really think it's going to be any lower than that. So those are my thoughts on all the books that I read. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my vlog here. I will be continuing reading Bespelled by LauraThalassa tonight. So like I said, I'm either going to finish it up tonight or at least in the morning while I'm walking on my treadmill. So that is going to be done. I do need to read Princess of Air, I think is what it's called, by Natalie Camerata. It comes out Tuesday. That's not getting read before Tuesday. Not going to happen. But I am going to get it finished by the end of the week, because I do need to read Cloak of a Vampire and Right Where We Left Us before the 18th. So I'm kind of behind, and then once I get those out of the way, I think the next arc that I need to have read is Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and that comes out July 2nd. So if I can get, theoretically, through the next 3 arcs that I have by the end of this week, or at least the beginning of next week, that gives me time to get 2 weeks in for Dishonestly Yours, and then I think the next one that comes out is like the 23rd of July. So I'll kind of be ahead, and I'm gonna like that, because I don't like being behind, because whenever I'm behind on my arcs, then I'm not reading off of my physical TBR, and it just puts me behind, and then I get anxious and stressed. So those are my plans. Let me know in the comments below, what did you like about this vlog? What did you not like about this vlog? What would you like to see more of? Also, would you like to have more sprints on my channel? Would you like to have more vlogs? Just kind of give me some feedback. We're almost to the middle of the year, and I want to make sure that not only am I doing content that I love, but I also want to do content that you love, where you're getting suggestions if you want suggestions and recommendations, or if you want to read along with me. Whatever you want to do, just let me know in the comments below. But always make sure that you check the pinned comment and become a Patreon member. So over there you can be a part of that community. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and I will see you this weekend. Bye!